Hey, Mike, are you in here? Alright, I'll check you later.
Yeah.
Did you take that money? Took the dollars too? Off the table?
Yeah, you gave them to me.
Okay.
I was just coming out to get my water bottle
all right.
and a smoke.
Okay. Oh, you got, yeah, because you got real cigarettes. You can have one of mine. They're good.
Well,
That was also supposed to be for you. That was the other time. It was only whatever for quarters, and then that was the bill. It was only like $8 a quarters, something like that. 750 for quarters. I gotta make a decision on my chimney this year too. I gotta take it down most likely. Just gotta do it. Take it down. We don't use the fireplaces anyway. Can only use one. They're not even legal anymore.
yeah, I had a guy from the town of Ware go in my cellar one year to try to get
The numbers.
well, no, to get so I can burn and not worry about it. But I got that long flume,
Yeah.
and he goes, if you move it over to here, and I looked at him, I said, I'm not gonna rip down storage space to move the flume and drill through cement. He goes, well, I can't pass you. I said, okay. He goes, I was never here though. I said, I don't know who you are. That's why I only burn when I'm home.
Yeah, ours is falling apart from the outside. It's got some flue cracks here and there, that going on, so it's not really worth it anyways anymore. Seeing that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have done any burning this year, but this guy, he buy a cord of wood for me, and I went, do that. Oh, I wanted to help him. Looked at him, shook my head.
Yeah, even burning outside the bus balls. I hear them on the scanner all the time.
Oh yeah, I burn outside.
I do too
I
sometimes.
got a burn barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a barrel, they're more likely to no one will call, but if someone calls, they still fuck with everyone. It's the open pit ones that they don't like.
They don't have an open pit. I was gonna make one. I said, I'd like sitting next to the fire at night, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Mike next door burns all the time. He's always burning. He gets a couple cords of wood every year and burns outside.
Plus the old lady next to me, she, I guess, had bad experience burning outside. I don't like it when you do your fire in the barrel there. I can't help that. You burn and yep, set it on, up and stand there and watch it. Or I walk away from it.
Yeah, whenever they come from that kind of money like that, it's hard. This neighborhood belonged to the average citizen, and then when those people would start moving into those $750,000 homes and shit, 'cause he's got to be
Yeah.
500, 600 grand for those now, right? Something like that.
Well, when that guy Eric sold his house,
Yeah, that was 450, right?
something like that.
Yeah, 'cause that was the market. That was
Yeah,
the market.
that was the mark.
They did that to us too, though. They did that to us. She didn't. She don't pay too. And the value on this house is now 450. They did that so they could start taxing us at 450. That's what they did. And then George got nailed first. He was the first one I ran into him, and he was bitching about it. He's like, they fucking went up on the taxes. You know what that means? That means because they brought up the value of the house. So now they're trying to tell him the house is worth this much. And then he knows because he just got a property evaluation when he sold the dairy. That was 10 years ago, right? So he had a property valuation. Now, since that 10 years ago, they're telling him his house has gone up 200,000 in value. From what? I didn't make any improvements. I didn't fucking do nothing.
Yeah.
And they try to act like, well, don't you want your house to be more valuable? Well, yeah, if you're really stupid, because then you know the next year you're gonna have to pay taxes, right? On the value, right? And then the insurance goes up because now the
Whoa.
insurance wants more because you have a higher mortgage.
Yeah.
So of course the insurance is higher, the premium
Yeah,
is higher.
I went car, the truck. Went in, I looked at how much it was for the year, is for the year, and I went, what the fuck did it go up so high for? Well, they're getting ready to, cause the vehicles are gonna go up in price.
Yep.
And that there, and I'm looking at her, and she's explaining it to me, and I said, don't make a bit of, I said, when I was a teenager, I was paying this to register my car.
Mhm.
And now you're telling me, oh, you got a good driving record.
Yep. But
No
it's still,
claims are still fucking.
yeah,
I'm like, oh, fuck.
yep. They're trying to push everybody out of the roads, out of the cars. Only internet access. And it can't be free internet access. It's got to be that $200 a month shit from the government, you know? We're fucked, man.
Yeah.
We're so bad.
It's called hooray for me and hell with you.
Yeah.
And I start doing therapy for my shoulders May 7th.
Yeah, you're all done with all that shit.
I do, but I got a knot in between my shoulder blades. Toss and turn at night. Wake up at the crack of dawn. Fuck is that? Yeah, just some light stuff that loosens up.
Yeah, I mean, it's helpful for sure. It does help. I miss it. Whenever I got in accidents and shit, I loved going, but I can never afford it on my own.
Oh, hell no.
Fucking thing. I always got these going. The neighbors love it. I know where to aim it. That's easy. I got them going everywhere I go, from wherever I go to work or whatever. I always have them out there. That always attracts everybody's attention. People don't know that whether to get mad. A lot of times it's funny, you know, because they don't know where to get mad. Because whenever they see a camera, like if you ever watch the auditors and shit, people get pissed. Don't put me on camera. Well, man, you're in public. If you're in public, there's cameras all around us.
All around us.
So, you know, we can't say nothing about it. But with me, it's different because when they say that to me, or they even act like that with an attitude, what do you do with that camera? Yeah, I hope you're not pointing it at anybody or whatever. Like, dude, I have no interest in you fucking zombie slaves, man. I'm interested in that's a cloud cam. I'll have it aimed at the trees, the clouds, the moon, never at humans. Fucking people mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that they do that because, first of all, if you think back to our childhood, anybody that brought out a camcorder, everybody would jump in front of it. You know, right? Then nowadays, it changed. But the difference is that there's cameras every car, every fucking house, doorbell cameras. We're at 10 cameras right now. My house, their house, all cameras. Nancy's got cams. Everybody does. Doorbell cams, you name it.
Yep.
Security cams, all over the fucking place. Cops show up, they got cameras on them. You know, paramedics show up, they got cams. Everybody got them. So why freak out, you know, when someone throws a camera out? So I do it at the laundromat. Once they realize it's not aimed at them, they are a little better about it, but still. I hope you're not getting in trouble.
Yeah. Not too much. You take it easy. Yeah. Well, that's sort of to be expected, I guess. Yeah. No, I called him yesterday. Yeah. Still can't find it. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh well. Why I always left the key in the boat? I don't know why. Well, yeah, I did it, and yeah. Well, I went through every key I have. Yeah, 2 or 3 times and went, ah, fuck it. So, yeah. I thought you were the guy that ordered it and it came in, the ignition there, so no biggie. Just waiting for it to come in. Oh man, yeah, yeah. Sitting out in the sun. I don't think so, but working on it. Well, that's okay. That's to be expected. Really? Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. All right. Well. There you go. Just take it easy, Rich. No, 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 no. We're sitting outside. No. I think she's sleeping. She woke up this morning bitching. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Well, I gave her some of that you gave me. And, well, she was bitching. Yeah, I know. So, it is what it is. Yep, no problem, brother, man. Bye bye. That
got some different smoke if you want to try something different.
The stuff he gave me, a bag of pot. The last time I went to Chicopee. Well, I gave you the bag.
I know, I shouldn't have done that. If you didn't have any, I got plenty.
I'm good. I got another bag. I only got a little, what's that? A one hitter thing,
Yeah, yeah.
little bitty thing. I take 2 or 3 hits off of that at night, and it's good. Put the timer on the TV. Lay down and freaking get in that position there. Fall asleep. Wake up and take a piss. Lay back down. Or she's in the kitchen bitching. Fuck a cigarette. Hey, wanna quit? Well, quit. I don't have the willpower.
Nobody does. It's just the expense. You guys should roll. You guys should roll them. I mean, it comes out to $1.50 a pack. It's not a big deal, you know. And then you buy the machine for $65. I mean, because right now cigarettes are up what, $13-14 or something, right? So the good ones.
I get the they're 8.35 a pack.
No, they're probably gonna go up soon then.
Yeah.
Because I know Marlboros are up to 13 something a pack.
These are the ones I buy are Crowns. Here.
Yeah, I'll get those once in a while. No, don't give me one. You're fucking broker than me. I'm broke. Give your cigarettes away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bought the Crowns once in a while. If I got extra money on me, I'll grab. I'll see what's the cheapest cigarettes you got. You'll either give me those, and then there's 2 other comparisons that are pretty cheap. If you want to call it $8 cheap, but it's like almost $9 a pack still. Yeah, $7.45. I think Jane Alden had those for last time.
Oh.
And the thing is only $2 of it goes to fucking Philip and Morris, and then the rest is taxes.
Yeah.
It goes to the government. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yep.
It used to piss me off when I was a kid when they told me that $1 a pack was going to the taxes. And then it just kept going up and up and up and up.
You know.
Remember, because it was 75 cents a pack when I first started smoking, right? You too?
No.
50?
Yeah.
50 when you started.
Yeah. I was what, 13.
I remember getting them for my mother. They were 50. I remember that.
Yeah. Al's store down there in Chicopee, where the Boys Club is now.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be Al's store. That was like the neighborhood where you had Chickamancy Village across the street, and then Elcon Drive on the other side.
Wasn't it funny? I used to go get cigarettes from my mother. Yeah.
Yep.
And other kids did too. Everybody did.
Everybody.
It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I did it.
Right. That's why when they bitch about being liberal douchebags now, when the conservatives have the House, it's pretty ridiculous. Why didn't they ever say anything about all those other fucking things that are liberal douchey? Kids not being able to be outside on their own without a parent unless they're like 18, and then there's a curfew.
Yeah.
Fucking Nazi Germany shit, man.
Yeah.
And then we're supposed to wonder why. I mean, the kids are inside eating fake food. They're not allowed outside. If they are, you know what I mean? It's fucking silly. And then if it's not gangsters taking them down, then it's the other gangsters taking them down, the blue line fucking gangsters. So if they do anything to get in trouble or anything, they're starting a criminal record already at freaking 12. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
If those pricks wanted to not be liberal douchebags, but they, no.
Yep.
No, we're gonna pretend that it's only the DEI stuff. Yeah, bullshit. It's everything.
Everything. Yesterday's gone.
Yes, for sure.
We got a lot of stuff we got away with.
I don't think it was getting away with it. I think that it was fine that way. It was fine. There was no, we watched out for each other as human beings. It's not, we didn't need law enforcement to tell somebody to get off our private property. We went down and said, hey, you guys, right? I mean, the cornfields, when we used to go hang out in the cornfields, they didn't have to call the cops on nobody because we all watched each other. If we saw somebody start driving through the cornfields, we would say, dude, don't do that to the farmers. You're being a fucking asshole. We're gonna fuck you up if you do it, right? So we didn't need to wait and then to come back out later and the farmers say, hey, fuck you guys, man. Stay off the property now.
Yep.
Because, I mean, I'm thinking of Northampton. Remember Nutty Land?
Yeah.
Nutty Land was banging out there, man.
Yeah, that place is, whoa. They got cameras in
Yeah,
there.
now it's all different now, yeah.
Oh, I took a drive through there
after
a
9/11.
couple of years ago.
After 9/11, dude.
And I went, what?
Yeah, yeah, because of the whole 9/11 bullshit. Because they went into the Patriot Act bullshit. So that means there's an airport over there.
Yep.
That's why all the cameras started going up.
Yep.
But then the farmers appreciated that.
And then you had the people going in there four-wheeling, tearing up the roads and stuff.
I don't think it's a matter of really four-wheeling, because those are all dirt roads. So, I mean,
were dirt roads,
just driving on them does that. Yeah.
But, I mean, I've witnessed a few vehicles where all four tires were rooster tails coming off them,
Yeah. Yeah, well, has to happen too, because when you go out after a rain, you remember what that was like. How many times you get stuck out there? So you had to, and then wherever there was powder, you had to push through it.
I fucking would.
Another good one was Bears Hole. Bears Hole.
Yeah. That's.
Well, I got arrested in there for my dirt bike. We were riding dirt bikes in there, and I should have never even stopped. There were dirt bikes everywhere, and the fucking cop, he's on a bike, and he never would have got us. We were way up in the woods, and he started yelling to us and stuff to stop. So I'm so stupid, I stopped. My buddy Steve stopped. Should have just fucking kept going. And he didn't have to arrest us. He could have gave us a fucking ticket and everything.
Yeah.
So he had to be a dick, take the bikes on the tow truck and all kinds of shit. I thought he was just going to tell us, get out of here or something.
Yeah.
But because we were the only ones dumb enough to stop, there was, seriously, man, there must have been 30 people on bikes that day. It was a very busy bike day. I'm surprised we weren't crashing into each other on the trails, really. We used to cut through there to go to Westfield all the time, too. That was another way to miss all the traffic stops on the way over. Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah, they're gone forever.
Yep. Yeah, well, I guess it was all fake anyways. It was all fucking bullshit. We just believed our own bullshit, and it was all a lie. Because now it's all fucking gone. I mean, they're going around now. I haven't got to tell the kids yet. I want to talk to them about it because no one's telling them about it. But all the arrests being made, so Massachusetts got a lot of them. Massachusetts, they just American citizens, no trial, no fucking, no nothing. Just throw you on a fucking plane and take you out, or to throw you in a detention center right here. No phone call, no lawyer, no due process for Americans. People, this is ridiculous, and it's not even a skin color thing. They're doing it to Native Indians, doing it to white people because they might be from Canada or Australia.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't even have to be a color thing, but it is.
Yeah, I don't.
It's an every color thing.
I don't get none of it. I don't.
They just did 250 Harvard students. I'm trying to stay with Massachusetts stuff. So 250 Harvard students just got sent back yesterday, I believe it was, to their countries because they're
They got
student
their,
visas.
Yeah, they got revoked. It's like
Student visas, yeah. So they threw them out because they said something about Palestine. Most of them, that was the reasoning. So if they were any Indian descent and they said anything negative, and it didn't even have to be negative about Israel. They could have just said we don't agree with the fucking genocide going on in Palestine, and that's not negative. That's just a fact. So
well,
you
yeah,
know?
but they don't care.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, they're intentionally locking them up to show us and getting rid of them to show us that there is no more freedom of speech, no matter what. You have no more rights.
Yeah.
And we went along with them closing all the factories like we were talking about earlier. So why would we not go along with this as well? You know, we went along with every other lie that we were fucking told. Fucking ridiculous.
They don't give a fuck.
So I want to bring my laundry system down to the senior center. I meant to do it yesterday, and then I got caught at Wackerman. Meant to do it today, but they're closed, I think, now, right? And the senior center's only open till like 10 to 3 or something like that.
No, they opened back up. What's today? Thursday?
Today's Wednesday. No, Tuesday.
No.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
So
I know they opened back up around 2:30 because there's a lady in there. She teaches knitting,
Okay.
and she comes back at 2:30. Not every day.
All right.
Yeah, I went by there this morning. The parking lot was packed with people. But then again, they get the bread truck in,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody shows up to get the bread.
Now more than ever.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure that bread truck's very fucking looks forward to now.
Yeah, it is.
Because I've got my, I want to leave it down there for a week or two, maybe, and talk to them down there. My laundry system. It's a stone wash laundry system.
Yeah, you were telling me. Oh.
And you put the stones in there, right? And use it like this. And it's got a drain trap to catch all the dirty water. And it's got its own ringer. So it's easy to wring to do home cleaning and washing. I even tried it with a large thing of sheets and shit, and it's easy to do because you put the bulk of the sheets in there. You know, doing a big quilt, I won't say I would recommend it, but jeans and shirts and all fine. It all fits fine. And then you can wring them out and hang them on the line. It's a lot easier. So once the stones are in the bottom,
That's why I'm calling it a stone wash system, because all the stones sit in here, and you just wash your clothes through it. You got this one and this one for doing the sides, but the stones is the best way, because that's the way we used to do it back in the 1700s.
Yeah.
You know, so if we're all going back to being poor again, not having any fucking money, this is the way, one way to do it, right? Especially when electricity is going to be $7 per kilowatt. So once that happens, then everyone's going to have no fucking choice. Even people that have a good job aren't going to be able to fucking afford the electricity. So,
No, it's.
you know, it's
I
gonna be
watched the
crazy.
Channel 3 news out of Connecticut. The electricity there is fucking,
Mhm,
well, outrageous.
mhm,
And they talk about this, that, and the other thing. You know, the governor's talking about the electric rate, and they want to do this, build that,
mhm.
to bring it down. But it's going to cost like millions of dollars to get her done. And it's like, just do it.
So what I want to do is bring this downtown to the senior center, put it on display just like this. These are the soap seeders. You don't use laundry detergent now anymore. Go back to that. So if I go down and set it, and I set it all up, maybe even put a line out for them, right? Or something along those lines. And leave my flyer on it, which I have not made yet, but I will. And then I leave a flyer on it. Then I can something like that, and leave it out there for them, right? So and then let them look at it. Let all the old folks look at it. Might as well do a video of it while I'm here. And then because the ringer is the idea. Now the old ringers, the circle ones, you can still get them, but they're $250 a piece. So by using these ringers, I can get these ringers, if I buy them singularly, $65 a piece, or I can order 20 of them. I can get them for like the price on the $35-40 a piece, right? If I order them individually without the bottom of the bucket, then I can get them even cheaper as well. I don't have to buy a kit, because then I'll just have a bunch of buckets laying around that I don't need. But I was thinking about turning the mop bucket into another part of this system, kind of like I did here with this one. So I got some ideas for doing that. But putting these scrubbers on the side, I got a lot of different ideas for different scrubbers. The expense goes way to hell up. Diamond plate, diamond plate's expensive as hell.
Yeah.
So by sticking with plastic, it can help. It'll last a long time and all that kind of shit. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then with the stones in the bottom, with the stones in the bottom, you got to think, when you're putting your clothes in, mixing them around on the stone, you are really stone washing them. I got another idea that I want to look into, which is run a piece of PVC across and put the stones into the PVC sticking out. So this way you can take your clothes on it, and it'll be like a roller that you have a stone on, that kind of thing. So I'm thinking about doing something like that to throw in with doing the stones.
Yeah, but the PVC pipe, you need what, 2-inch pipe?
I got some 1.5 inch. Yeah, so I take 1.5 inch. Right. So if I take 1.5 inch and I take all these stones and I only cut holes that will fit the stone coming out, and then it's stuck, right? So then once it's stuck in there, then I can fill the inside of the tube with whatever, foam, whatever, not going to matter. And then that'll push the stones all out of the PVC pipe, right? So I take the pipe and I take all different shaped stones that won't pop out. As long as I put pressure on the back, then this is what you're going to see coming out of the PVC pipe. So if I do that all along the pipe, right, a bunch of holes, then that'll give me a stone washer. I have a stone washing system, right? You know what I'm describing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So then when you run your things back over, the pipe's right here.
Yeah, but it's. Hmm.
Alright, so what I'm saying is if I take this pipe, I cut it to fit this. I'm gonna put something on each side that'll hold this. I got a bunch of ideas for that. But then once this is cut to size, then what I do is I take each stone of different sizes, stick them in here. I can even go with a bigger one. I can go with a 2-inch if I want to use bigger stones, but I don't have to. I can find stones that'll fit in there, you know what I mean? Like this one, whatever. So then once these stones are all sticking out, I'm only going to cut them big enough to stick out, right? So then I do that all the way across the pipe, wherever I want to stick them, is get as many as I can on both sides, and then mount it in here. Once it's mounted in here with all the stones sticking out, then I will literally have a washer as this turns. So you can take clothes, put them around here like this, go like this thing will turn and the stones will be in this.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So then not only would you have washing stones at the bottom that you're mixing stones from, and this is a lot easier when you have a lot of stones in there. So if I put stones all on the bottom of the sink, literally this is a great idea because I can just take the stones in my jeans and wash them up like this, and it does wash the clothes better. It's better than, I would say even better than this, because if I want to, I mean, I guess this still works good because it's got the grooves on it. But even if I find a stone that I like, it don't have to be these stones, but I find one with texture in it, right? That I know the one with texture I'm going to use on my jeans and my hard stuff, right? So I can even grab one that's hand size and keep it in my sink of stones, right? So then you do that, put it back in, whatever, and then eventually ends up in the ringer. Then when I have delicates, if I have something more delicate, I can use a softer stone. It don't have to be the rough stone. And then I take my softer stone, a large one that fits my hand, and I can do the same thing, use it as a scrubber. If none of those are good enough, I could go modern and use this to do what I got to do as well if I have something that needs that kind of washing, right? And then
Yeah, I
down in there, stick there, watch your fingers. I hate to go. Look at it, it's already dry. Then hang it up. That's the other part. We've gotten rid of a lot of germs with the dryer and the hot water because heat kills a lot of the mites and germs and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that, right? So that's what you don't get with this. You lose that ability to take out all them germs. It's part of the trick of getting us to go back to the old ways because that was a modern invention that was huge. So we should look for a way. The sun is one of those ways because the sun is the best cleanser you got, right? So in the winter, you're hanging clothes in the house because you can't outside, but you can hang them in front of the sun in front of a window, if they're inside the house. So there is still a way to kill germs and stuff too. So that's it. That's my idea.
yeah.
And then because this catches all the dirty water after you wring it, I had to have that because I didn't want to keep putting dirty water back
No,
in
yeah,
there, right?
Yeah.
So then it's real easy to take it off and on, and then once you get done and this is out of there, then it's easy to tip the bucket over, pull the plug, and let everything drain at once, right? Because you don't need the clean water anymore.
Right.
Then you just rinse it all down, rinse your stones down real good, and then um, and then if you notice, I've got this. This is the catch bucket. It goes right to the drain. So it can be a gravity feed. You don't have to use the sprayer. I don't need it. I can just set this up next to your sink, pour your bucket of water in there, and then you got a drain that fits nice right here in this drain perfectly. Bang. And that's it. And then when it's all filled up, you know that you got 5 gallons. You're only going to use a 1-gallon bucket because the water line is right here. That's the water line for these sinks. So you're not going to go that much water anyway, right? So then once you drain, you don't even have to empty the bucket. You can wait every 3 or 4 times you wash. So you can do 3 or 4 cycles of wash, then empty your bucket. And,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
people, I don't. They're
what,
they're kind of
lazy?
spoiled. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Oh, no doubt about it. This is gonna take for this to hit anybody. This is gonna take, especially for the cost of them, because the cost is real fucking high. Even if I'm selling them at cost, nobody's got. If I'm making them one at a time like this, $300 worth of materials, right? So if I bought 20 at a time, then I can get the sink from $109 down to $65 if I buy 20 or more. Same thing with those. Like I said, if I buy 20 or more, I think I can get them for 35, 40 a piece. Other materials, a bag of stones, even the stones, if I buy 20 bags from the stone yard, I can save a bundle on buying stones, right? I also don't have to offer the stones or other things with the sink. There's another base model that doesn't need a $25 worth of sprayers. It doesn't need the drain because people have their own bucket to drain into, right? That kind of thing. So I can get the cost down, but that's not gonna. It's gonna take items away, right? So if I don't have, so even the sides, right? The sides,
I
that kind of thing.
yeah, I see maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 being sold.
No, they're not going to sell. I'm not selling them. I'm only making them at cost. So I'm not going to make any
Oh,
money
you're
on them.
not gonna.
Right. So I'm not making no money on them. I'll make them, custom make them at cost. So in other words, if somebody wants one, you're only paying for the materials. I'm not even going to make any money off them. I'm just offering to make them. It's a community thing. It's not about an investment thing. Um, the only way that it would take off as an investment thing is when that electricity thing we talked about happens, right? Something like that happens, then people will want to buy them and pay money for them because they won't be able to afford the electricity. They want to wash their clothes, right?
Well, they're there now. You go down the senior center and they're talking about the electricity, how much it costs.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, now Trump just took away that $750 a month. Now, remember they were getting that electrical voucher, so now they're not offering it anymore. So that's why everybody's freaking out down there. If he took away that, my Uncle Stevie relied on. I know a lot of people that relied on that because that's how he made it through every year. Because he had a gas stove, he could get the electrical voucher, and he got I think $350 a year for towards his gas because he heated with gas and electricity. So now he's not going to get that anymore. Now I don't talk to him anymore, so I don't know how worried he is about it. But I'm sure he knows that they're taking all that away now. That was the billions of dollars that they took to give to Elon. So him and all the other guys are all breaking that money up now. They're telling everybody, gaslighting everyone, I should say,
Yeah.
into believing that they're doing that to save us money. Well, where's the fucking
Where's-
savings?
yeah.
They have not mentioned one savings yet. I mean, they throw out a bunch of numbers that are fictitious numbers, but
Yeah.
they're not showing it. They're not
Yeah,
saying
it's just what it is.
Right.
Ooh.
Right, because the GDP is still fucking not working out to the way that they claim that it is. I mean, this is worse than fucking communist country, man. Capitalism, I think, is worse than communism. I really do. More tyrannic than communism. Even more tyrannic than because it's all about the lies. It's people enslaving themselves rather than just being told that they're slaves. You know, like it seems more like the communist country. Hey, you're all fucking slaves. That's just the way it is, right? And everybody says, "Oh, okay," you know. But you know, we're gonna be good to you, though. We're gonna be good to you. You know, don't worry about it. You know, as slaves, if you stay with us, we'll be good to you. Okay. And then most times it seems they really are. They really are good to us. But with us, it's everything's got to be a lie. They got to fucking lie to us about everything.
Well,
They tell us, "Oh no, you're free. No,
That's-
you're free. You can make decisions on your own. You have freedom to speak and say what you want to say." Oh, really?
yeah, right.
You have a freedom to assemble and complain and show grievances to your government if you want. Oh, really? I see a lot of people getting locked up and thrown out of the country for doing that. So how can I think that it's safe to do that? So yeah, this invention is definitely not for the wealthy. They're not going to see it. But as far as 2 or 3 people, I think that's only because it costs money to do. Because a lot of people at the laundromat do this at home in their own sink. That's why I'm saying that. So I know of at least probably 50 people between the 2 laundromats down here that all do their delicates at home in their sink, bring their wet clothes to the laundromat, put their big stuff into a washing machine, and then everything into their dryers, right? So then they don't have to hang them out on the line, that kind of thing. And that's what they do in the winter. They do that. So I'm sure I can find more than 2 or 3, but then the 2 or 3 that you find, can they afford $150 even, right? Does anybody even have that? That's why it's a conflict of interest, so I got to be careful. But if I sell them at the laundromat, now right now he'll laugh at that. You know, my buddy George that owns the laundromat, he's seen it, and he's trying to be nice about it. But to him, that's funny because he owns laundromats, so everybody wants to wash their clothes. They don't care about spending $80 doing their laundry there a month, right? They just come in, throw 20, $30 at a pop into those machines, and then no one complains about it. I say yes to that. I understand that, and it is a convenience. But then you got the drawbacks of doing your clothes at any public facility, right?
Yep.
You got the cleanliness of the machines, who's been washing and drying their clothes before and after me. That kind of thing goes through your mind. And then the cost of it. So if our electric bills go up and our water bills go up and our taxes and our insurance and everything else, then so are his. And then when his do, then that means the $9 machines are going to be $12, $14, $16 a piece, right? Now we're talking about unaffordability. That means if I still got to go to the laundry every week, I definitely can't afford to do all the laundry I was doing over the years.
Yeah.
Now I
yeah,
only
that's for
can,
damn sure.
right?
Yeah.
So now I can only afford to really bring with me the stuff that has to go in the machine. My husband's dirty clothes from work, right? They're all greasy and shit. I don't want to be washing. But all the kids' clothes and all the delicates and all the sheets and linens, I got this. So I'd just rather use this. I can hook it up to warm water right to my kitchen faucet, and I don't, don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to fill the car with clothes, go down to the laundry with the clothes. I can do it all here. I can also get the kids involved so their face ain't stuck in that fucking computer all damn day. And I can get them standing here washing. Here, hold some rocks in your hand and move the rocks around, right? Some soap and rocks. That's all it is. Very simple system. And then you got clean clothes. And you could still run them to the laundromat. It is a public facility. So if he's got a complaint about drying the clothes only and not washing, that's not a fair complaint unless he had free dryers, right? If the dryers were free, sometimes they run a special. All right, well then you're taking advantage. But when you're going there to dry your clothes, it's your money going into the machine to use.
Was it take like $3 or $5 for?
To dry now, $1.50, $1.50 or something like that. Yeah, only a couple bucks, but that's what I'm saying. You don't make the bulk of his money. Laundry owners get upset when people have a washing machine at home and their dryer's broken because they keep bringing their clothes in and only using their dryers. So the washing machine is where they make the bulk of their profit. Dryers are more of a convenience than a profit, really. You can try to turn them into a profit, but it's hard. The customers will get pissed off about it. You get more complaints and your machines will get smacked around. For example, like if we go from 8 minutes for a quarter down to 4 minutes for a quarter, they blow a fucking load.
Yeah, the pop. Yeah.
You got to go down slowly. You got to take it down a minute, a minute here, a minute there over a long period of time, and then they may not. They'll still complain, but they'll say, Last year it was fucking 8 minutes for a quarter. Now it's 4. You know, so even slower than per year. It's got to be like it's tough, or you got to make a drastic decision to just do it all at once and say and have a reasoning like he just did recently with the water bill going up. So his water bill went way up and the gas bill and the utilities went up. So therefore his mom made a couple comments. Some other people said to him, what are you doing? You're just taking the profits away because you're not raising the prices. He didn't want to raise the prices really, you know, but then he had to. And then,
Yeah, you are.
you know,
Yeah.
right, and that's what they're going to do again. They're going to keep doing that because it has to. Because if you want to
Yeah.
remain a profit at a business, then every time our electric bills at our house go up and shit like that, same thing. That means anybody with a fucking, even if they do have a washer and dryer at home, when the prices at home go up, it'd be more profitable for me to say, Cap, I can save us about $80 a month if I wash the clothes here and dry them downtown. Because even at 4 minutes per quarter for what we're paying per kilowatt, he's losing his shirt. The only reason he's at 4 minutes per quarter rather than 4 minutes per 50 cents, right? Because it's getting harder and harder for him to keep bringing the price down.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's in business to make money.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we all are supposed to be. That's
Yeah.
what the whole point of our existence
Well,
is supposed to be, to buy all their junk, buy all the useless shit that we don't need, right? So that's the whole point of washers and dryers, really, so that we don't have to be home doing this, like my little sick thing.
yeah.
You don't have to do that, babe, no more. Don't worry about it. We'll get a washer and dryer. But now, washer and dryers are going to be unaffordable. Dude, to buy a washer and dryer is
Huh.
going to be unaffordable by this time next year.
Huh.
Unaffordable. It's not going to be an option anymore.
I went down to Cluet's to look at stoves because I was having the problem with mine.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. What'd they tell you? What for a price? 1,800. Oh yeah, yeah. 175 to fix it, just to look at it, right, or something?
Yeah, 129.
Just to look at it.
Yeah, and then they prorate it, and it's like not happening, and it's not gonna happen.
And then did you get a chance to look at new stoves? Because I bet you're up over
Yeah.
$1,000. So if they're already at, right?
They were right up around the grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, after the tariff bullshit just happened, that means anything new coming into the country now has to have 125, 100, whatever he's got it at today, 145% tariff or some shit.
Yeah.
And then even if it cancels the tariff, it doesn't matter. It already fucking scared everybody, and everybody said "fuck you, America." Now they're all doing their own thing anyway, so they're scrambling to find somewhere else to go with their products.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll find them.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no one's gonna be able to afford it. And then if your stove breaks, good luck getting fucking parts for it, because even if you can get them, they're most likely going to be used and very expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah, there's going to be appliance junkyards. That's what there's going to be again, just like back in the old days, right?
Yep.
It's going to be those kind of boneyards. Because when you need a part for your refrigerator door and you can't get one, you just go to the junkyard. I got a GE 19
Yeah.
or 2020, whatever.
Yeah. It's fucking insane.
Yep. Yep. It's going to keep getting worse. I had my camera set up downtown on a job I was on, and the fucking thing got stolen one day. Yeah, asshole walking by steals a cheap ass $30 phone. You ain't gonna get nothing for it.
Yeah. When I was coming here, I don't know the kid's name. He's in an electric wheelchair. You see him up in town Wow.
Steve, the guy that you're talking about, John, the old guy, or Steve, the younger guy? He's like in his 40s or 50s.
No. This
The guy they named the trail after is Steve. He used to sit out by Walmart every week, right? He used to sit
I
out.
never seen him there. This guy, he's from. Uh, he's all over the place in that electric wheelchair. Not the guy with the four-wheeler.
No, that's a different. Yep, I know that guy. That's the old guy who drives around with his granddaughter all the time, right?
Yep. This
Right.
guy, he's
I know them all, man. So it's got to be Steve that you're talking about. If you're saying younger, I mean, John is probably our age, and the other guy, Steve's probably 10 years younger or whatever. But the guy Steve used to do is he used to, over by Walmart, on your way to Walmart, on the left hand side, you used to see him sitting in his chair like this all the time, and cars would be whipping by, and he was right there at the edge of the street. He's not in Walmart, but like 2 streets up from Walmart, right? And that's where he used to sit all the time. Well, they eventually made that trail for him, and there was a big write up in the paper that they stoned the trail and widened it and everything so wheelchair accessible because they wanted to do something nice for him. But the part they failed to tell anybody, and they got a grant, $52,000 grant to do the trail. Everywhere where the trail got a stone down on it, that was thanks to him, which goes pretty far up. It goes almost to the, as a matter of fact, it stops right before you hit the water department. If you're on the trail, right before you hit the water, right? Maybe before that. No, it's even before that. It's where the Christmas tree. It's where the Christmas trees are all piled up. That dirt area over there. That's where the rocks all stop, and then it's like the powdery dirt and shit for all the way down to the water department from there. So somewhere around that. So, anyways, they put that in his name, but then when you really look back at that story, he became crippled because he got in a drunk driving accident. And I don't know. There's nothing about the other people that he crashed into, so I don't know if they were not injured, or if there was no big loss. But he was drunk. That was drunk driving. So back then, when he got in that drunk driving accident, it was long enough ago where drunk driving was an excuse, not a crime, right? Back then, right? I hit the pole because I was drunk. Don't worry about it. He was drunk. He didn't know what he was doing, right? And even the insurance company would even pay on it because they just say, "Oh, well, the pole ran out in front of him." The house was, just moving along, and he bumped it. Not a big deal. So he totaled his car. So now they don't do that. So, anyways, it's funny that they didn't mention that in the paper write up because it would look pretty silly to donate $52,000 block for somebody who was a DUI violator. Because that means he did it to himself. So it's not like he was handicapped from birth or something. He got in an accident, crippled himself, and then later complains to everybody that the town is not doing anything for me. I wait out here by the street every day, but there's no sidewalks on 32. So therefore, this is bullshit. They're not thinking about the disabled. They're not, no consideration for us. And then it's funny because now that the trail's done, he was out there for the first year or two. And that's it. I never see him anymore at all. And I'm on that trail all the time. I would bump into him. So that's funny too that he's not even interested. And he's still around because matter of fact, I was asking people, did he pass away? Because I hadn't seen him in so long. And they're like, no. He don't wait out at the street anymore. He don't take the trail anymore. And the trail from his street, when you get on the trail from his street, Lowe's and Walmart are right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 100 feet away. So really, what he had for trail before, the mushy, swampy shit and everything like that, that's the only area they really had to do for him, $5,000 worth of work. It didn't have to be a $55,000 project.
That's just so the town can get a pat on the back.
Yeah, well, sure. Everybody, they want everybody walking. So that's going to be the trail that they're going to use as the new, walking trail. They'll add cameras and lights to it so
Yeah.
they can know our every movement. And then as they take our cars away, we'll all be using that fucking trail. We'll be meeting down here to do our laundry with my new laundry sink down at the river. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
I'm a predictor of the future. All right, I gotta go make the kids lunch and shit. And do my
Okay.
shit.
We'll catch up with you.
Yeah, but, you're using worse shape than I am.
Oh, yeah, all right, thanks.
All right, no problem, man.
Jesus. Yeah, where do we go?
Alright, this thing's no good no more. Alright. This tripod needs repairs.